Today, Dijonai, you're always in a dirty play. Dijonai.
Boom! The basketball universe just delivered the most savage dose of instant karma ever witnessed, and Dijonai Carrington got demolished in the most beautiful way possible.
Dijonai Carrington, because she's angry. Dijonai's mad.
Picture this. The same player who jabbed Caitlin Clark in the eye and strutted away like nothing happened just got absolutely steamrolled by Tiffany Hayes, crashed to the floor like a rag doll, and somehow, wait for it, got called for the foul herself. The irony was so thick it could stop traffic, and the entire basketball world exploded in the most satisfying celebration of justice you've ever seen.
But there was a hard, I want to call it a foul, and it's blatantly a foul from Dijonai Carrington onto Caitlin Clark.
This wasn't just a bad call, people. This was the basketball karma saying enough and delivering cosmic justice so perfect it felt like a Hollywood script. The woman who thought she was untouchable just got touched up by karma, and it was glorious. But here's where this story gets absolutely insane. The reaction from fans wasn't outrage about bad officiating. It was pure, unfiltered joy. Social media went absolutely nuclear with celebration, and the message was crystal clear. That's what you get. Hold on to your seats because what happened next will blow your mind.
Whoa!
For months, Dijonai Carrington has been playing basketball like she owns a get-out-of-jail-free card. Aggressive plays that should have been flagrant fouls mysteriously getting downgraded, questionable contact that somehow goes unpunished, and a pattern of behavior that had fans pulling their hair out wondering how she keeps dodging consequences.
That Dijonai Carrington, Dijonai Mustard, Dijonai Carrot Top Carrington, Dijonai's, however you want to call it, this might be one of the dirtiest things I have ever seen.
Remember that eye poke heard around the world? The most popular player in women's basketball, Caitlin Clark, gets her face jabbed during her first playoff game, ends up with a black eye that looked like she went 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. And what happens to Carrington? Absolutely nothing. No flagrant, no fine, no suspension, not even a tweet saying "our bad."
They caught Caitlin Clark in the eye. Ultimately, she ended up getting a black eye out of it. It was not called a foul, by the way.
The league basically said, poke the golden child in the eye, no problem, carry on. Meanwhile, other players get whistled for breathing too hard on opponents. The double standard was so obvious it was insulting, but the universe was watching, taking notes, and preparing the most devastating payback in sports history. Fast forward to Dallas, and the stage was set for justice. Wings trailing by 3, under 2 minutes left, every possession a potential season saver. Janelle Salin launches a prayer from downtown that bricks off the rim, and here comes the loose ball drama. Carrington makes the smart play, pulls back, lets the ball roll out of bounds, secures possession for her team. Veteran basketball IQ at its finest. But here comes Tiffany Hayes charging down the court like a runaway freight train with absolutely no brakes.
Off the skip, short on the three, and Carrington a great box out.
Wham! Hayes obliterates Carrington from behind. We're talking full-speed collision that sent both players flying to the hardwood like they got hit by lightning. The contact was so violent, so obviously Hayes' fault, that even blind referees should have seen it. In any sane universe, that's a clear foul on Hayes. Probably flagrant for the dangerous contact. At minimum, Dallas ball and free throws. Instead, the officials made a call so absurd it defied the laws of physics and common sense.
The WNBA refs have been diabolically awful this season, and one of the calls that they have just not been making is when a defender gets under a three-point shooter and doesn't give them space to land.
They called the foul on Carrington, the player standing still, the player who got run over. The victim somehow became the villain in the most twisted officiating decision in basketball history. But here's where the story gets absolutely delicious. Instead of outrage, instead of sympathy, instead of people rushing to defend an obvious victim of referee incompetence, the basketball world threw the biggest celebration party you've ever seen. Twitter went insane with karma jokes. Instagram flooded with memes. TikTok couldn't handle the traffic from people posting about cosmic justice. The message was unanimous. Finally, she got what she deserved.
It was mishaps on our end. Just not talking. Like we always say, it's always our defense that's gonna do it for us. And when it's not that, everything starts to get a little stagnant and a little off. So
When was the last time you saw an entire fan base celebrate a bad call? When have you ever witnessed people choosing justice over fairness? This wasn't about basketball anymore. This was about accountability, finally catching up to someone who thought she was above consequences. The memes started flying instantly. Basketball gods delivering justice. Karma's phone number is always working. What goes around comes around with interest. The internet became a non-stop karma celebration that had everyone saying the same thing. This is what happens when you mess with Caitlin Clark. But wait, it gets even better. This wasn't some meaningless game where a bad call gets forgotten by morning coffee. Dallas was fighting for playoff position. Every possession mattered, every point counted, and Carrington's toxic reputation may have cost her team a crucial victory. The poetic justice was so perfect, it felt scripted. For months, she benefited from officiating that seemed to protect her aggressive style. She got away with contact that would have sent other players to the bench. She escaped suspensions that seemed guaranteed. She operated under completely different rules than everyone else. Now suddenly, the same broken system that protected her was destroying her in the most obvious way possible. The same incompetent referees who missed her questionable plays were calling phantom fouls that made no sense. It was like watching the universe correct itself in real time. And the timing? Chef's kiss, perfect. Just as everyone was discussing officiating inconsistency, just as fans were demanding accountability for untouchable players, just as the Caitlin Clark eye poke was getting revisited, boom! Instant karma delivered with surgical precision. The universe didn't just deliver justice, it delivered it with style, flair, and perfect comedic timing that had the entire sports world applauding. But here's what makes this moment truly special and absolutely terrifying for Carrington's future. Referees are human. They're influenced by the same narratives and perceptions as everyone else. When a player develops a reputation for dirty play, when fans consistently question their intent, when every move gets scrutinized, that reputation follows them everywhere. Carrington is now experiencing what Caitlin Clark has dealt with all season. Being viewed through preconceived notions that affect how every play gets called. The difference? Clark's reputation helps her because she's seen as unfairly targeted. Carrington's reputation hurts her because she's seen as someone who dishes it out and should take it. That's the price of building your brand on controversy. Eventually, the benefit of the doubt disappears, sympathy evaporates, and you're left dealing with consequences of every questionable decision you've made. The most chilling part? This is just the beginning. Every referee who saw that collision knows the call was wrong, but they also know Carrington's history. They know about the eye poke. They know about the pattern of aggressive play. And subconsciously or not, that's going to influence future calls. She's entered the danger zone where reputation becomes reality, where past actions determine present treatment, where karma doesn't just visit once, it moves in and makes itself comfortable. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark continues being the perfect example of how to handle controversy. Despite getting her eye poked, despite dealing with questionable calls all season, despite facing more physical play than any rookie in history, she takes the high road every single time. That's leadership. That's character. That's exactly why Clark became the face of women's basketball while Carrington became its most hated villain. The contrast couldn't be more obvious. One player elevates the game and builds a legacy. The other drags the league's image through the mud and pays the price. But here's the ultimate question that's going to determine everything moving forward. Will Dijonai Carrington use this moment as a wake-up call? Will she recognize that reputation matters and public perception can be more important than box scores? Or will she continue down the path that led to becoming the player everyone loves to see fail? The basketball community has already made its decision. They've chosen sides. They've picked their hero and their villain. The question is whether Carrington is willing to make the changes necessary to rehabilitate her image, or if she's comfortable being remembered as the player who poked Caitlin Clark and finally got demolished by karma. What happens next will be fascinating to watch. Can someone come back from being the most hated player in the league? Can reputation be rebuilt when the foundation is this damaged? Can karma be satisfied with one moment of justice, or does it have more in store? Every game from now on becomes must-see TV. Every call involving Carrington becomes a potential controversy. Every interaction with other players gets scrutinized. Every move she makes gets viewed through the lens of, is this karma continuing to work? The pressure is immense. The spotlight is blinding. The margin for error is non-existent. But here's what makes this story absolutely electric moving forward. The universe has proven it's watching. Dijonai Carrington learned the hard way that what goes around always comes around. She discovered that treating the league's golden child poorly has consequences. She found out that building a reputation on controversy eventually backfires in the most spectacular way possible. The instant karma that demolished her in Dallas wasn't just about one bad call or one controversial collision. It was about justice finally being served to someone who avoided consequences for too long. It was delivered at the perfect moment by the most ironic circumstances possible. And judging by the reaction from fans worldwide, it was exactly the kind of cosmic justice everyone had been waiting to witness. The basketball universe has spoken. The message is clear. The scales have been balanced. And Dijonai Carrington just learned that nobody, and I mean nobody, messes with Caitlin Clark and walks away unscathed. The karma train has left the station and it's heading straight for anyone who thinks they're above consequences. All aboard the Justice Express, because this ride is just getting started. If you believe karma always finds a way and Dijonai Carrington finally got the justice she deserved, smash that like button like you're delivering your own dose of instant karma, subscribe for more explosive WNBA drama, and hit those notifications because this story is about to get even more insane.